Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome into the show. Yet another episode of Crushing Fantasy Football. I am Bryce Lockridge, your host of the show. It is so good to be back, guys. Obviously, we're 5 months away from football season, so I'm going to start ramping up the content. I have not posted in a very long time, and I'm excited to be back on the show and to bring you guys this content to help win you your fantasy leagues this year. I couldn't be any more excited. I know you guys are starting to think football as well because the true fantasy heads start thinking about football around this time. So, I'm going to be talking about the three biggest steals in the draft, and I'm talking about steals relative to underdog ADP because that's the most accurate. So I'm going to start right here with the very first player on my list, and that's Tyreek Hill. Now, common theme here. Most of the players that I have on this list, or really it's only three players, every player I have on this list is coming off a little bit of a bust season, but that's where we get our best values in the draft always. So that's kind of why that's the case. Anyway, Tyreek Hill going in the second round, mid to late second round, is a massive steal. Okay, you look at his season last year, obviously massive disappointment by his standards, but 2 out of the 3 years with the Dolphins, this dude had over 1,700 receiving yards. He's been an absolute monster in this offense. Yes, he is getting a little bit older, but if you watched him play last year, despite the numbers being disappointing, he was still as electric as he's ever been as far as his speed and explosiveness. It's just the fact that, look, Tua was out for a long time with this concussion. Obviously, Tyreek Hill, by the time Tua came back, very soon after had a wrist injury that required surgery, so he was playing injured for the entire season. So there was only a very small chunk of the season where Tyreek Hill was playing and was healthy and Tua was actually on the field. A very small chunk of the season, only about a quarter of it. And he still had almost 1,000 receiving yards. You know, you look at Mike Evans' great career. A lot of people talk about how he's always had 1,000-yard seasons. A lot of those seasons, he had just over 1,000 receiving yards. Tyreek Hill almost matched that. This past year, he had something like 959 receiving yards, something close to that. And this was with everything going wrong. Everything going wrong for Tyreek Hill. I mean, seriously, the dude was injured all year. Like I said, Tua missed time with the concussion. This dude is due for a massive bounce back. He's got one more really good year in him, I truly believe. Going in the second round and building a team around wide receivers and getting him as your wide receiver 2 is one of the biggest cheat codes I've ever seen in fantasy. This dude is a smash pick and an absolute steal. Next player on my list is going to be Marvin Harrison Jr. Another player, like I said, every player on this list is coming off somewhat of a bust season. Look, Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to explode, okay? Obviously, did not have a good rookie year. I think we've gotten too used to wide receivers having success right out of the gate because it's become more of a common trend. You know, we saw it with Jamar Chase. And, you know, these receivers, these new age wide receivers that just come out and absolutely explode in year one. But there's still so many more and even more receivers that do it in year 2. Look at Jackson Smith-Njigba from last year, the way he started to get utilized, even with competition in the wide receiver room with a wide receiver 1 in DK Metcalf. So, you know, I think we've still got to expect most wide receivers, no matter how much rookie hype they're getting, to go off in season 2. Now, obviously, we had some guys last year, you know, Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas absolutely exploded as a rookie. It does happen. But, you know, if you look at these players and their situations, I mean, how is Malik Neighbors' situation really better than Marvin Harrison Jr.? Obviously, he had a better rookie season, but this is all target share. It's all because of target share. The efficiency numbers were still relatively the same. Malik Neighbors obviously went off and Marvin Harrison didn't go off. But, guys, neither offense is better, right, than the other. I mean, the Cardinals offense, the Giants offense, they're about the same. I would even argue that the Cardinals offense is probably a little bit better because they have an elite pass-catching tight end. Obviously, he ate up all the target share last year. But like I said, going into year 2, I don't see how Marvin Harrison Jr. doesn't explode. I just don't see this guy going his first 2 years in the NFL without having a monster season. This dude is absolutely going to go off. He's a massive steal right now. Last year, you had to get him at the end of round 1, beginning of round 2. You can get this guy in round 3, sometimes round 4 now on underdog drafts. Is absolutely mind-blowing the steal that he is right now. And he could outperform Brian Thomas and Malik Neighbors. Despite what happened in their rookie seasons, watch out for Marvin Harrison Jr. to outperform both those guys because neither of those guys are really in a better offensive situation, and he's still the most talented wide receiver of the trio. So look out for Marvin Harrison Jr. The dude's going to explode in year 2. Massive steal. Next and final player I have on my list here is DeAndre Swift. Now, you look at DeAndre Swift, right? this is a pass catching running back. The one year that he really wasn't utilized that much as a pass catcher was his first breakout year in Philly. And the reason he broke out in Philly is because it's Philly. They have a great offensive line. They score a ton of points, plenty of touchdown opportunities. There's a reason why DeAndre Swift had a great season. But if you look at this Bears team, right, you have Keenan Allen departing from the team, right? Obviously, he eats up a lot of those line of scrimmage targets, a lot of those underneath targets, a lot of the short targets within 10 yards. DeAndre Swift is now going to be that guy. They're going to have to target him more out of the backfield, which he already had a decent target share and very good efficiency out of the backfield last year as far as catching passes. Now without Keenan Allen, they're going to have to target him even more. Now, I will say this right now. This DeAndre Swift is a situation where it's going to depend on what happens with the NFL draft and who else they sign, in the backfield. Now, obviously, this is a case with a lot of players this early in the season and, something you have to really kind of watch out for. But for DeAndre Swift especially, they are talking about adding depth to the backfield. Now, if this does happen, I do not like DeAndre Swift. He needs to be the main running back in the offense. He needs to be the running back one without any real running back competition. If he gains running back competition, this take completely changes. Okay, so keep that in mind. But as of right now, if the backfield stays the same, and there's still a very good chance that it will, it's 50-50, probably a coin flip. If he stays the main running back in this backfield, this dude is going to go off. He's going to have his best pass catching season of all time, playing in what's probably going to be a much improved offense. Caleb Williams going into year 2, Rome Odunze going into year 2. This offense will be better than people are expecting it to be, and DeAndre Swift is going to be a benefactor of that as far as touchdowns scored. So the scoring upside is there for DeAndre Swift as well this season. I love this dude, especially where he's going in the draft. He's really like the last running back that's a starting running back in the backfield that has massive upside. So I really like taking DeAndre Swift where he's going in underdog drafts right now. These are my 3 biggest steals. Hope this helps. I'm about to ramp up this fantasy content this year, and we're going to get ready for the 2025 season. I appreciate you guys. And, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. If you're not new to the channel, welcome back. It's fantasy time. Let's go.